For the last 18 months to 2 years, I've had this recurring dream, and it's about my husband and we are renewing our vows. And each time in the dream, there's a similar theme that I'm not prepared, and it's last minute prep and getting ready for it. And in March of this year, March 26th, I woke up and I had this dream again, and it was really clear. And there were a lot of details in it, and I knew I had to capture it and steward it. So I finally took time and wrote it down in my journal. And about 2 weeks later, I received a phone call from one of my best friends, and I hadn't told anybody about this dream.
On April 4th, when I woke up, I knew that this was a God dream. It was very clear, and I just knew, and it was about my friend Jenn and her husband Chris, so I knew that I needed to call her right away. And I just said, Jenn, I had this dream last night, and it's about you and Chris renewing your vows. And I heard, actually, I didn't hear anything. It was a moment of silence, and then I heard, shut up.
And so as she was still waking up and she recited her dream to me, I grabbed a pen and paper. And as she went on and was sharing it with me, the fear of the Lord fell on me, and I had to sit down. And I was writing down, and it was striking how similar our dreams were.
I was at a campground. Jenn and Chris were going to renew their vows. They were going to do that in a big tent. The tent was full of people. Next to that, there was a small building. Jenn, myself, Jenn's mom, the bridesmaids, and many women were in that building.
In the dream, my husband and I were at St. Giles, which is our church. During a normal Sunday morning service, Chris and I were going to have a wedding ceremony or a renewing of our vows. I was not prepared. I didn't have a plan, and my dress was not ready. I put on a dress that felt good, but it was black with silver roses when I looked down. I felt comfortable in it, but I was afraid of what people were going to think about it, and I knew it wasn't appropriate for this ceremony.
The bridesmaids wore black, and Jenn had a black dress on as well.
So I went into the bride's room, which is a little room off the lobby in our church, and I went to look into the closet, which was huge, trying to find something white, unwrinkled, and enough layers so it would not be see-through. Everyone was waiting. I was hurrying, and my mom was trying to help. It seemed like it was taking forever to try to get ready and be prepared.
I remember thinking, I wanted to pray for Jenn with all these women present, but time got away. The women had already gone into the tent, and it was time for the bridesmaids and Pat to go in as well. Jenn and I were waiting for someone to come and get us to go in. In Jenn's original wedding, I knew there were 21 bridesmaids, but at this ceremony of the renewal of the vows, she had half the amount, 10.
Nate, our pastor, rearranged the service to give me more time to get ready and to try to keep people from leaving because they were getting antsy.
As Jenn and I were waiting, I shared with her that I wanted to pray. I was praying Haggai 2:9 over Jenn. The latter glory of this house shall be greater than the former, says the Lord of hosts, and in this place I will give peace, declares the Lord of hosts. We waited a long time.
I thought it was turning into the afternoon because it was taking so much time, but I checked the time and it was 10:45 a.m. I felt relieved that people weren't leaving yet, but they were beginning the reception. We hadn't yet had the ceremony.
When it was time, we walked into the tent, and it was not crowded. It was half full. When Jenn walked into the tent, suddenly she was wearing a white dress on top of the black dress, but 2 inches of the black dress was showing at the bottom. We really felt that this is a challenge for you to go before the Lord and ask the Lord, what is He saying through these dreams? He's given us just a glimpse and a certain portion of these dreams, but we really feel like there is so much more and there's so much depth. Some people hear through dreams, some people hear the Lord in different ways, but we just ask that you go before the Lord individually and ask Him, what is the meaning of this dream? And He will show you.